Pennsylvania. This is CBS 21 News at 6.
And good evening. Tonight we start you with CBS 21 first warning weather and actually a little bit of good news. Let me show you what I've been tracking here for the last couple of hours, and that's these very strong storms moving out of the western side of the state and moving eastward at a pretty good clip. So they've already passed through Pittsburgh, headed towards State College in Altoona, and I'm more optimistic now that these will stay together and at least bring us a little bit of rain, even if it's just some leftover showers. And you're looking at an 8, 9, 10 o'clock time frame as it pushes through the mid-state. So some encouraging news that we get a little bit of relief with some much needed rain. As far as where we stand now, you know the heat up and down the eastern seaboard. I mean, everywhere it's just been baking, but we came in just shy of the record at 95 degrees. So as we show you some of these numbers, keep in mind that we've had a very, very hot weekend here. 90 in Lancaster now, 90 in York, 95 in Carlisle, 93 in Harrisburg. So looking ahead to tomorrow, the National Weather Service has now put us under a heat advisory for those afternoon hours on Monday. The difference is tomorrow the humidity will be higher. So you're talking about some heat index values that'll reach into the triple digits. So very, very hot again, but we do have a chance for some storms. So 9 o'clock tonight, 87. Later on tonight, a couple of scattered showers passing through, 83. And 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, it's hot and steamy again, 75. But another chance for some showers as we go through the afternoon tomorrow. So a couple of chances for a little bit of relief. And don't forget to download the CBS 21 weather app for the latest forecast details. It's absolutely free. Just search CBS 21 WX in your app store. Bryant, back over to you.
Thank you, Tom. Now, living in PA, we usually take into consideration how our car will stand up to snow and cold weather. But these hot summer temperatures can be just as tough on your car. So before you buckle up and blast the AC, there's some things you can do to take care of your car during a heat wave. CBS 21 Sara Small is live now in Harrisburg. And Sara, I have my pen, I have my paper. I'm ready to take some notes, so tell us what we need to know, Sara.
Yeah, well, Bryant, you know, like you said, you always hear about preparing your car in the winter, snow and ice and all that, but same goes for summer. Those here at Firestone say it's pretty much common sense things you should be doing all year long. So we'll step over here to our live truck. Things like checking your windshield washer fluid, checking your coolant over here, checking your battery. These are things you need to be doing in extreme weather, whether it's hot or cold. So again, we stopped by Firestone in Harrisburg today to see what we can do. Now we're in the middle of this heat wave. Not only is regular maintenance a must, but getting into a hot car, you need to be careful. Robert Zinmeister here at Firestone says to check all the fluids in your car, in particular the coolant, to make sure things aren't overheating. Check the battery, check the tire pressure, all those kind of things. Like we said, kind of common sense things, but things we may be forgetting about come summer. Also, getting into the car, the steering wheel may be very hot. I know I've touched my steering wheel several times and almost burned my hands off. And same thing goes for your metal seat belts as well. So you got to be cautious with that. These are common things we as drivers do in the winter, but summer it's often forgotten about. But our cars do need maintenance in extreme weather of all temperatures.
No one thinks about the heat. Everyone always wants to gear up for winter because, well, we personally have to gear up for winter because we have to put coats on and everything else. But summertime, when you're walking around t-shirts and shorts, no one thinks about their car because they can just hop in and go. They don't have to plow it out.
So our live truck here got a clean bill of health, thanks to Rob here at Firestone for checking it out for us. But tonight at 10 and 11, we're going to have some more safety tips for you. Also things you can do for cheap to make sure your car is running fine before you head to vacation, Bryant. So keep your pen and paper handy. Live in Harrisburg, Sara Small, CBS 21 News.
Now to coverage of the Democratic National Convention. Crowds are pouring into Philadelphia ahead of the DNC. The city set up misting stations and is handing out water to the public. Police and protesters are lining the streets before the DNC officially kicks off tomorrow. But things are heating up around the Democratic Party itself. Just hours ago, Democratic National Committee Chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz announced she will step down at the end of the DNC. This comes after thousands of emails from committee officials were leaked showing favoritism to Hillary Clinton. CBS 21's political anchor Rob Hanrahan is live in Philadelphia at the center of it all. Rob, what's the latest?
Well, Bryant, the Democrats were really looking forward to starting out this convention here in Philly with a theme of unity, but today discord took over. As you mentioned early this morning, Bernie Sanders called for the resignation of Republican National Committee Chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and she did resign, but not effective until after this convention. DNC Rules Committee member Representative Marcia Fudge of Ohio was voted in to preside over the convention, a job usually done by the Democratic National Committee Chair, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Startling news that moved so fast, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi hadn't even heard it when I caught up with her during a pre-convention tour.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great convention, but I'm not aware of what you asked.
After the announcement she wouldn't be presiding, Wasserman Schultz did resign. There was also pressure from former presidential candidate Bernie Sanders, who called for her resignation after thousands of emails were leaked suggesting the committee favored Hillary Clinton during the primary.
I don't think she is qualified to be the chair of the DNC.
On this Sunday, the convention hall is filled with delegates checking out their chairs and technicians putting the final touches on everything from delegation microphones to sound checks. Adding to the pre-party fun, late show host Stephen Colbert, too busy working, flying around the floor doing comedy bits to stop for an interview.
Yeah, I could, but I can't right now. Once I'm done working, thank you.
Super busy.
Nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you.
Have a great week.
Thanks. There will be a lot of celebrities at this Democratic National Convention. We are expecting to see a lot of them here. Democrats hoping the Wasserman Schultz issue and the issue over these emails that were leaked will blow over and they can start fresh late tomorrow afternoon. We'll see if that happens. First, Bryant, let me show you around a little bit. This is where the Pennsylvania delegation will sit. And this, of course, that famous microphone where during the roll call, the announcement will be made. And if you can, Bill Sider's my photographer, just give people a pan around the arena here. It's delegations will be seated up high into the sections up above the floor here, and then of course Pennsylvania is directly on the floor, along with Iowa, Virginia, Arkansas, Iowa, and then there is that wonderful stage they've been talking about. And honestly, they were still putting finishing touches on it. I think maybe they still are at this point. Live in Philadelphia, Rob Hanrahan, CBS 21 News. Bryant, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Rob. Well, we will certainly be watching everything that's out of Philadelphia. Rob's going to give us a front row seat to it all. Rob will be live in Philadelphia all week long, so stay with CBS 21 as we bring you continuing coverage of the Democratic National Convention here on the air on CBS21.com and also on our social media pages. Now, Governor Tom Wolf was in Philadelphia today hosting a tour of the Philadelphia's historic sites, including Independence Hall. Now, this will be the 8th time that Philly has played host to a party convention since 1856. Governor Wolf is among the 60-plus people slated to give a speech at the DNC. Another one of those speakers includes Senator Bob Casey. Now, after the DNC, Hillary Clinton and her running mate Tim Kaine are planning to stick around PA. They'll take a bus tour through the state on their way to Ohio after the convention. Clinton and Kaine are expected to make a stop right here in Harrisburg on their way to Pittsburgh. They'll appear at public rallies and smaller events. And Clinton's Republican rival Donald Trump will be in Pennsylvania during the convention. The Republican presidential nominee will visit Lackawanna College in Scranton on Wednesday. Covering Central PA, police say a man was found dead after he was hit by a car in Adams County. It happened in the 6400 block of the Carlisle Pike in Reading Township around 1 this morning. Authorities say 20-year-old driver Daniel Wonder hit the victim. Police weren't able to identify the victim, but tell us he's Hispanic and in his 20s or 30s. Police believe he was run over and dragged about 10 yards. State police and the coroner are investigating. In Franklin County, a man wanted for attempted homicide has turned himself in. Chambersburg police say Darnell McLean turned himself in for a Friday morning stabbing near the intersection of Southwest Street and Hollywell Avenue. The victim was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. McLean faces charges for attempted homicide and aggravated assault. Police in Harrisburg are still looking for 2 men wanted in the city's latest homicide. Officers are looking for Kurt Tasker and Vernon King. They're wanted for the shooting death of Frank Whitlock last Saturday on Hunter Street. Mayor Eric Papenfuss says both men are employees of his business, Midtown Scholar Bookstore. They're considered armed and dangerous. If you see them, call police. To national news now, and authorities in California are preparing to lift some evacuation orders after a massive wildfire north of Los Angeles destroyed 18 homes. But they're also warning residents of other communities to get ready to possibly leave. Shifting winds are pushing the flames to the northeast through the Angeles National Forest and toward other cities. Officials are investigating after they found a man's body in a burned car in the fire zone yesterday. The blaze has been burning since Friday and is only partially contained. Its cause is under investigation. To international news now. The community in Munich, Germany is mourning the victims of Friday's shooting spree that left 9 victims dead. Flowers and candles mark the site of the attack at the Olympia shopping mall, where an 18-year-old gunman killed 9 local residents of various ethnic backgrounds. 8 of them were between 14 and 20 years old. Police say the gunman had been planning the attack since last summer. The International Olympic Committee today has decided that Russia will not receive a blanket ban to compete at the Games in Rio. The IOC did say Russia is barred from entering any athlete who has ever been sanctioned for doping. The committee will leave it up to individual sports governing bodies to decide if Russian competitors are clean and should be allowed to take part. Russia has already been handed a doping punishment when its track and field team lost an appeal against a ban on Thursday. Meanwhile, athletes arriving in Rio for the Olympics are finding major plumbing and electrical issues in the rooms at the athletes' village. This is the latest problem to hit the troubled games. The 31-building village will house 18,000 athletes and officials at the height of the games. The Australian Olympic Committee spokesman says the building for his team has leaking pipes, water leaking through the ceiling, and electrical problems and cleaning problems as well. A game of softball between competitors is helping children in need. How a high schooler is bringing together 2 local TV stations for a good cause. Tom?
And some encouraging news here as we track these storms coming out of western PA. You can see them passing through, headed towards State College in Altoona. I do think we will see some rain later this evening. We'll have details in your first morning forecast coming up.
21 News at 6 with Lara Greenberg, meteorologist Chris Nallen, and Chanel Douglas with sports. This is CBS 21 News at 6.
Well, this week's Sunday Salute is for Travis Henry. He was nominated by Gregory Martin, who tells us Travis was a police officer with Shippensburg, as well as a United States Army veteran where he was a staff sergeant. He passed away in 2010 from diabetes. On behalf of CBS 21, thank you, Henry, for your service. Now, do you know a current or former military member, police officer, firefighter, or first responder you'd like to nominate for our Sunday Salute? Let us know by going to our Facebook page, website, or email us at salute@cbs21.com.
And now, CBS 21 News First Warning Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Russell.
Well, I hope you're having a great weekend thus far. We are in day number 4 of our heat wave, day 4 so far. Let's show you some great pictures. We love getting the weather from your window. This one comes to us from our friend Lisa Shope. Just takes fabulous pictures. Lisa shared this one. She said this is from the Michoud Forest. And look at that. That just kind of captures the feeling of this afternoon, doesn't it? That hot blazing sun doing its thing even at sunset. All right, we did not officially break the record. 95 was the high. Look toward the bottom there. 96 was the record from back in 2001. And yep, we came awfully close, but did not break the record. Normal high should be about 10 degrees cooler in the mid-80s. I don't know about you, but that would feel better right now. So we're at 95 right now in Carlisle, 94 in Lewistown, 90 in Sealands Grove, 91 in Reading, 90 in York. You factor in the humidity and ta-da, it feels like 100. So that's what we mean by the heat index. The temperature, the humidity combined makes it feel worse. 98 in Chambersburg. And the heads up for tomorrow, because these heat index values will bring everybody into the triple digits, and that's why we have what's now called a heat advisory because we've reached that threshold. 88 in State College. Look how cool we are in Pittsburgh. You say, Tom, what do they do? Turn on the AC in Pittsburgh? No, they had some rain. You remember rain, don't you? Some showers here, and they're working their way eastward. And I'm more and more encouraged by this because it's what we call an MCC, just kind of a cluster of storms that takes on a life of its own, which means it's going to be able, I think, to make it over the mountains, hold together, and at least give us some leftover rain showers, if nothing else. So you're looking at a time frame 8, 9, 10 o'clock tonight for some of these showers to push through. won't help a whole lot as far as cooling us down, but any rain on your crunchy lawn would be welcome. 95 in Washington, 94 in Norfolk. You see those 90s everywhere you look. 93 over towards Cincinnati. Unfortunately, that's what's moving in. That's what continues to move in all this week. Here's that little cluster of storms. One of the things it's riding on is this warm front, this warm boundary that's going to push through, and that's kind of not so much about the temperature as it is bringing in more of that juice, that humidity. So humidity on the rise. Watch as I track this in the future. Bam, right there. Again, as we go later this evening, I think you'll see some of those rain showers, and then another chance of some showers right here. This is tomorrow afternoon. I don't think it'll be a whole lot of rain, but again, any rain that we can get is welcome. And then we start to clear it out, and then we're still warm, but at least we're not seeing the mid-90s as we get into Wednesday and Thursday and later this week. So in the meantime, watch out for a few storms as the evening progresses. 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Warm and humid otherwise as we're in the 70s. Still hot and steamy tomorrow. 94 with some afternoon storms. Still hot Tuesday, 92. As we get into Wednesday, we're plenty of sunshine. We're still at 90, so the heat wave continues even on into Thursday. When is the relief, you ask? How about Friday into Saturday? Whew, finally back into the mid-80s by next weekend. So there is some relief, but it's about a week away. So again, a heat advisory in effect for tomorrow. So keep that in mind, mainly for those afternoon hours. All right. And then the other thing to keep in mind, I always want to remind folks, take care of the pets. You can't leave them outside in this kind of heat. It's pretty rough stuff.
That's right. Most vulnerable out there,
Yep.
Kids and our animals. But one thing that concerned me, that I didn't see a whole lot of rain. I saw some clouds. I didn't see the rain.
Well, fingers are crossed. Hopefully a chance tomorrow and then next weekend.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Well, today some members of our family here at CBS 21 teamed up with the folks across the street at ABC 27 and hit the diamond for some charity softball.
Yeah, we were there helping out our friend of our station, Isaiah Owens, who's a Bishop McDevitt senior. He's been doing the toy drive since he was 5 years old. This is so cool. CBS 21 photojournalist Colin Powell has more from the game at Veterans Park.
Nice, Tom, nice. Go, Lewis. Go home, Lewis. Lewis, you're home. We are playing in a charity softball game for Toys for Tots. Run out, Nate. Run out. You're up.
Every year, good turnout from both stations and the community as a whole.
21 and 27 come together and support Isaiah. This is probably about 8 years of this game that is happening today.
Go, Trey. You're good.
Get together and try to help Isaiah make some good things happen for some kids around Christmas time.
It's also about us adults too. To everybody be able to spend their time, to do what we have to do for these kids because they need it.
It's a blessing. It's sad that it's my final year going into college, but I'll still continue, for the rest of my life.
I'm only down by 6 runs right now for our last at bats. Bases loaded. Come on. 2 outs, 2. No pressure. Oh, yeah, right there. There it is. Ow!
Yeah, man.
Good game, fellas.
We raised $207 and 41 toys. It's great. It's an amazing start for the start of the year. Pretty much Christmas in July.
He said it, Christmas in July, and I got to point out, Isaiah had this hit way over my head.
Oh, wow.
All the way to the fence. So not only can he raise some money for Toys for Tots, but he can hit the ball. This is Isaiah's last toy drive before he heads off to college. His goal is 10,000 toys by Christmas, and we look forward to helping him reach that goal. So it's good that he's got an early start, but congratulations to him.
Yeah, definitely. Great seeing young people especially step up and take a great stand.
And he's done it for several years. So
yeah,
really
definitely.
Cool.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. All right, well, baseball teams closing out their series on the diamond today. Find out if the Senators were able to sweep Richmond. Sports is up next.
CBS 21 Sports with Chanel Douglas.
The Senators back at it again, looking for their 4th straight win and a sweep against Richmond today. Were they able to get the job done? We're back at F&B Field, bottom of the 4th. Senators down 3-0. Isaac Blue up to bat, looking to change that, and he will deliver. Blue with a solo shot to put the Senators on the board 3-1. Top of the 5th we go. Richmond up 3-1. Carlos Moncrief up to bat. He sends this ball deep to right. It's going. And it'll land in the scoreboard bar. Moncrief with a homer to stretch out Richmond's lead. Senators unable to get the job done today, falling to Richmond 6-2. And at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Barnstormers taking on the Patriots. Here's Mike McDade, who knocks this ball deep to right, and it's on the hill. A 3-run homer for McDade to give the Barnstormers the 3-1 lead. Top of the 7th, game tied at 3. There's Brian LaHare, who blasts this ball deep to right center. That one will be off the wall, but 2 runs will score to give the Patriots a 5-3 lead. Barnstormers getting swept by the Patriots, falling 6-4. The Nats closing out their 3-game set against the Padres today, and they'll look to start a guy we here in Harrisburg know all too well, former Senator Lucas Giolito. Here he is now, bottom of the 3rd. Nats down 3-1. Giolito with his first major league hit to center field. That'll be able to get a 4-run rally started. Like this one coming up. Game tied at 3 now. Ramos blasts this one deep to left. It's going and it's gone. A 2-run homer to give the Nats the 5-3 lead, but they won't be able to keep it. Nats falling to the Padres 10-6. Then O's looking to sweep the Indians. Bottom of the 5th, game tied at 2. Here's Jonathan Scope, who sends this one deep to left for a solo home run. O's taking the lead, but the game remains close. Bottom of the 9th, game tied at 3. There's Nolan Raymond, who launches this ball deep to left for the walk-off victory. O's sweeping the Indians, winning 5-3. Huge victory for the O's tonight.
Yeah, that's a big deal, sweeping the Indians. Thanks a lot, Chanel. All right, we're back with a quick look at the forecast after the break. This is going to last for a little bit.
Yeah, but I want
longer.
to show you something that's exciting. It's called rain, and it could actually reach the Harrisburg area. It's moving in from the west. This is a complex of storms that I'm hoping will hold together here, so we could see some rain around 8, 9 o'clock tonight. So any rain is welcome. We're so darn dry.
Yeah, looks like someone was praying to the rain gods.
We'll take it.
All right, that wraps it up for us at 6. We'll see you tonight. Have a good night.